Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fanfiction it inspires. Before we begin, just want to remind you to follow us wherever you listen so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. If you love what we do and want an easy way to show your support, please consider leaving us a positive, that's all the stars, rating on your favourite listening platform. It helps SPN and fanfic lovers find us and share in the fun. I'm Kasey.
I'm Sandra, and there's a ton of other ways to be a part of our supernatural road trip, from joining our Discord to fueling up the Impala with a Ko-fi donation or membership. Check out this episode description or idlinginttheimpala.com. So, after a bumpy start to many a introduction, we are doing another Tags and Tropes episode today. As Kasey...
As Kasey dies quietly off mic, but not off mic enough that you can't hear. I'm so sorry. It's because I was drinking fizzy pop, and then I was laughing because I fucked up the intro. That's just upset everything. Because Sandra was like, "Okay, are we ready? You hydrated? You're gonna do the intro, and I'm gonna do the thing." And I was like, "I'm ready." And Sandra clicked, and I said nothing because I forgot that I was doing the intro and I wasn't in the right tab. But it tickled me, and I got the giggles, and then I was drinking, and then anyway, fucking irrelevant. Tags and tropes.
Yeah.
What are we tagging and troping today, Sandra?
Well, we are tagging Magical Healing Cock today. So this was one that I think I heard it really more with, we'd been talking to Laura and Bailey when they were talking about Free Camp series that they wrote. And I remember hearing that a lot with them. And I've heard it like here and there, but I was like, I don't think I've seen it tagged as much. And it's just a funny tag. Like Magical Healing Cock is just funny. Like you giggle a little bit. Like, what does this mean? There's so many things. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of look into the tag a little bit more and break it down. This Tags and Tropes, what do we do here? Because this is going to be the first one, I think, of 2026 that we're going to, no, this is the first one we're recording. But we've got another one that's going to come out probably before this. So this is where we tackle a fanfic category, genre, or subject matter. We're going to break down some stats. We're going to share overall thoughts. And we're going to discuss a couple of fics that are prime examples, we think, of the topic. At the end of all that, we'll let you know whether it's a gib or a hard pass for us. So again, Magical Healing Cock. I have thoughts, as I did a little bit more digging, that I think this is really more of a old school turn of phrase or maybe tag that's maybe been replaced by something else. Because when I was looking at a lot of the stories that do have this tag, I was like, this sounds familiar like other stuff we've talked about before. But as always with our Tags and Tropes discussion, we try to follow your kink is not my kink and that's okay motto. Though we may interject our personal squicks about any given tag or trope, it's in no way meant to yuck anybody's yum. Kasey, have you heard of this tag before?
I have.
Okay.
How this before?
Has it always been in like the fanfic universe for you? Like, because I know you read a lot of fan stuff before, like fanfic stuff before Supernatural too. Is this something you've seen way back or no?
I don't think so. I don't remember it being a big thing way back when in like band fandom. But that being said, band fandom was a little bit more self-insert. Like, oh my god, I'm going on tour with my favorite band. A little bit less mushing the characters together with dolls, a little bit more Mary Sue.
More quote unquote reality based, like, you know, like stuff that would happen like in the real world. Like, you know, we just like on tour with your favorite band. I've written those stories. I understand where that comes from. Yes.
The Fall Out Boy song.
Is it?
No, it's not, but it sounds like it.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. It's the song I'm thinking of is called A Little Less 16 Candles, A Little More Touch Me.
Okay.
It's a little bit less mashing dolls together, a little bit more Mary Sue by Fall Out Boy by Panic at the Disco.
I like that.
Cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not something I'm familiar with back from like Fandom. I don't know if that's the Potman, the squishy together of the words, but I'm calling it that anyway. Quick disclaimer, readers: I am very tired and also slightly caffeinated. And you think those would cancel each other out? They don't. So bear with me. But no, I'm kind of I'm familiar with it primarily from the Supernatural fandom.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna have a document that if people want to look it over, but we've got I took a little bit of an excerpt from the fan lore page on magical healing cock, and it is a story element where a physically and or psychologically battered character finds physical or psychological healing in sex. Some fans use the term only as a pejorative and consider the use of the trope a sign of bad fic. Bad fic is one word. One derided instance is when a story features a character who requires receptive, penetrative sex as part of their rape recovery. Another is ICU sex or any other setting where one character is gravely injured and seems to improve after sex. So intensive care is sex is needed, I guess. For
I would assume ICU as in like hospital
intensive,
sex.
Yeah, intensive care.
Intensive care unit.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you call it over there, but it's called intensive care over here. What do you call it?
Yeah, intensive care unit, ICU. Yeah. But I wouldn't have thought so. Okay, see, I'm thinking that would be a thing where
Let me Google that real quick. Hold the line, listeners. Please hold.
Because to me it just means that's a part of the healing process. So you're saying you think it actually happens in a hospital. Is that what you're saying?
I am going to assume that it means, because it says another is ICU sex or any other setting where one character is gravely injured and seems to improve after sex. Mm-hmm. So actually, it might not mean sex in the hospital. It might mean like life-saving sex. Yeah, fair enough.
Other fans embrace the trope as a fantasy device or a kind of wish fulfillment and use it knowingly or seek it out as a fic kink. Related tropes, genres, rape fic, hurt/comfort, wump. I just think this is like fuck or die. That's my or sex curse or like it. Okay, no, so I think there's overlap there. That's my thing.
There's overlap, certainly.
Yes. Yeah.
I would say overlap. I would say this, to me, my definition of this is that the injury is not related to fucking, but somehow fucking makes it better. That would be my interpret. Like, because like fuck or die is. That's a sexual injury in nature, or a sexual curse, or a sexual spell, or whatever. But the injury, quote unquote, in question is sexual in nature.
Okay.
Like Temet Nose, Sam gets hit with a fuck or die curse, witchy shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is more. Oh, you broke your arm. Let's fuck about it. For me personally.
Yeah, because for me, it's more like I feel that there's that overlap. And I think it's because a lot of the things that I was reading that were tagged a certain way, I was like, it could probably also get tagged to this. And then other things I've read recently, I was like, maybe they could have used magical healing cock here because it's kind of, the cock is necessary. I guess it's my whole thing as a part of this. Like, even with the sex, even with the fuck or die part. There's still a magic, like it's magic, right? It's magical healing. So it's like when I get that feeling, you need sexual healing kind of stuff. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel that there could be a lot of maybe overlap in that area. So again, just like every other thing when we talk about this, it really is based off of the writer, how they want to tag, whether or not they tag it.
Yes.
But then also us going back through it. Kind of looking at some of the things we've read and going, that probably could have worked there. That if somebody was looking for just that tag, they probably totally missed a fic that fulfilled all of those needs that they might have wanted when they were looking for a specific type of fic. It's just an interesting overlap to me. Can you think of anything that maybe you've read that would have been magical healing cock that would not have had a fuck or die overlap? Would your Temet fall into that because he wasn't at risk of? Was he at risk of dying in that?
No.
Okay, but it was a curse, right?
Yeah, but Temet stands on its own because he wouldn't have died, so it wasn't technically fuck or die. I feel like I must have done, but nothing springs to mind. I should probably out myself now. I don't like this trope.
Okay.
I would not ever seek it out.
Okay.
And anything that I read with it would be circumstantial. It is one of those tropes where if I encounter it in a fic, the fic has got to be pretty fucking good to get me to stay. Otherwise, I'll just be like, nope.
How would it be introduced into the? So is it because it would be the solution to something? Like, is it like an easy out for you? Like, is it? Oh, this is the thing that's going to then get them, push them maybe together, or kind of like the thing where a lot of the tropes that are used are just to get somebody to realize their feelings for another person or to be
Pull
open.
up a chair, listeners. Pull up a chair.
Yeah, because I'm
trauma
interested.
time with Uncle Casey.
Okay.
It's
all right.
trauma time with Uncle Casey.
Okay.
The reason that I don't like this particular trope is my ex. He was a problem in a lot of ways, but if you were feeling ill, like if I was feeling ill or I was sad, he was like, "Oh, we should have sex. You'll feel better." And I'm gonna be like dying with the plague, you know, to be like snot and I'm sweating and just gross. And he'd be like, no, we should totally fuck about it. And I'd be like, would you want to have sex if you were in this condition? And he would be like, yes, I have. It makes me feel better. And I'm like, fucking jerk off then, whatever. So having spent a good proportion, well, not a good proportion of my life now, but at the time, a good proportion of my life with someone who viewed sex as the answer to everything.
Like the antidote.
Would be very pushy about, you know, like say like we had a date night planned and then I got sick and he'd be like, oh, well, you said we were gonna, I thought we were gonna be, and it would become a problem and he'd be pushy about it. So it's not intrinsically the trope itself, it's that it just engenders bad feelings in me. I don't think it's lazy writing. Like I'm not here to be like, oh no, it's bad fic or whatever.
Right.
I don't think it's lazy writing. I think it's probably a really fun trope because, you know, like in certain situations, let's fuck about it is not a bad answer, you know? And even asking, hey, I know you feel crummy, but like, you want to fuck about it? Maybe you'll feel better. Like, that's not a bad question to ask as long as you accept the no, you know? And there are like plenty of women out there, AFOB people out there who prefer to fuck about it like when they're on their period because to soothe the cramps and stuff like that. I don't inherently think it's a bad thing, and I certainly think there's if approached properly, there's a lot of humor to be derived from it. It's just that I have residual trauma. That's how it goes.
Gotcha. That makes sense too, as to why it's just like a
just doesn't vibe with me, unfortunately.
So for the AO3 stuff, and I went through and pulled some stats.
Well, no. I want to know where you stand on it now. Throw me under the bus like that woman.
Well, I didn't throw you under the bus, granted. You
don't let me throw myself under this bus. Come join me. It's nice into here.
I feel there's a big overlap between this and curses and different things like that. That the cock is used as the device, you know, that kind of like, you know, if somebody's got to take has to have some, I don't know, like chicken soup, or just has to rest up, or just needs to take, you know, their medicine and then they'll feel better. I think that it's maybe not as severe.
Coming at this from very different places, I think.
Maybe not as severe as fuck or die in some situations, but then it can be in terms of the writing and the storyline that they're using in them. But sometimes they could just be fun. Sometimes it could just be a release. I've read one that was like that as well. Sort of an escape situation. And that gets into the other tags that are related.
Wait, no, I thought of one. I thought of one.
Okay.
It's not technically magically healing cock. I think it's more magical healing Dean.
Okay.
The Rookie series by Dandelion Dreaming. Our good friend. You remember, like early on, like right at it's in the first installment.
Yeah.
And Rookie goes and gets a tattoo.
Uh-huh.
And Dean is all like, "Oh no, you're gonna turn the pain into pleasure," and he just like faffs around with her while she's in the tattoo chair. Not like it's consensual faffing.
Yeah.
want to make that clear.
Yeah,
it's not a rape fic. It's consensual faffing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like she's in pain, and he's like, "No, well, maybe if you feel good about it,
I
you
can
know,
make it feel better. We do this." Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think that it's there's so much to, I think, parse out too when it comes to fiction and how people categorize stuff that I've that's why I find this interesting in and of itself is, you want to kind of put yourself in the mind of the writer at the time and going, you know, what makes you consider it this, not this, you know, did you know about this? Because again, for me, it's more about the learning of all of the different parts of fandom and fanfic that I still don't. I mean, it's like the iceberg. I know the tippy top and like all the other stuff underneath.
Oh, Lord,
I would never know unless you go and look into the stuff.
Who's got time for that? We're busy.
Well, apparently we do because we're doing an episode.
It's not like this is our job or anything. I do think though fundamentally we have different interpretation of the tag though, which I think is quite interesting.
Because I also like we've also talked about there's certain material that I will probably like say no to because of trauma. On my end, we just recently had a discussion with someone about that like certain things just like nope me out as well. So
no, I don't mean that. You like, I mean like you're coming at it from like a like take your medicine kind of thing, and I'm coming from it like a well, this sucks. Do you want to fuck about it though? And maybe it will suck less on the other side of the fucking, you know.
It's a combination too. Let's mash them together and say that's what it is.
Let's smush it together. That's what fandom is, isn't it? Smushing stuff together, seeing what sticks.
Yeah. So back to the AO3 stats and stuff. So I did this a couple weeks ago. So Magical Healing Cock is a canonical again. What a day! Magical Healing Cock is a canonical tag.
Thank you.
So
I thought that was how you were going to break it to me, that you decided to change how you said the word canonical.
No. Sometimes I feel like I just do these things and it's fine. And then I'm like, no. I have no idea where it comes from. It just happens.
Magical healing semen. in this document, which you absolutely must look at, Sandra has put in related meta tags from AO3 for healing sex and magic cock. And there's a lot of, I'm pretty sure this counts as magical healing cock. I guess this is it, but I zoomed in to read it, and there was magical healing penis, magical healing semen, magical healing mushroom cock. I have questions. Magical healing cock type resolution, which I know is a cop out, but hey, it's porn. That's perfect. I love that. That's amazing. Not explicitly magical healing cock, but there's definitely room to extrapolate in that direction. Once again, healing trauma with the power of that dick.
Yeah, they're just it's magical healing cockish.
Suggestion of potentially healing cock. The cock is only mildly healing. The healing power of a dick you control. Treading the fine lines towards magical healing cock. That's brilliant. I love that. You should absolutely go and read those. They're a delight.
So again, the fact that they found tags with the same meaning and people have used these numerous times, I find also they've connected these to that. I think is really, it's really cute, I think, and funny. Yeah, I like emotional healing by cock. Again, there's a healing in parentheses tree cock. I think I'd need to see what that was about at some point. I might need to go back and see what's actually.
You might need to go and click on that and find out what. What story is attached.
So
just like the cock isn't going to heal your broken arm, but maybe you'll feel better after an orgasm. Is my interpretation of the trope as a whole.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, it comes with a side of IRL trauma.
Yeah. So because it's a common tag, it's marked as official by the tag wranglers, according to their guidelines for a particular fandom, character, relationship, or additional tag concept. Canonical. Okay, I did it again. Now I'm never going to not say it that way. Canonical tags are generally.
Why? Well, I'm confused.
I don't know
why your brain's getting confused.
I don't know.
We're all confused here.
Canonical tags are generally the most unambiguous, accessible form of a tag. So the related meta tags are healing sex, which is one that I found an example of, and then just of course just plain old magic cock. There's no healing in that part. So I thought there would be a lot more fics tagged with this, and there weren't. It's one of the lower end for magical healing cock, right?
Oh.
And all the other things that kind of like the other meta tags ranked higher than the canonical tag. So it was only 837 out of almost 17 million that had magical healing cock in it. But meta tags like magic cock had over 2,000 and healing sex had over 4. Again, not as plentiful as I thought they'd be. The supernatural fics were pretty much they ran the same like ratio of amounts based off it. I didn't even bother with RPF because I saw there were only a handful. And I think this goes into your fandom thought process where if it's more quote unquote reality, you know, you won't have the opportunity unless I guess it's a hospital fic. Maybe there's probably a bunch of places that maybe have used that you wouldn't you wouldn't necessarily use anything with magic in the, I guess, you know, magic tag as much as you would with supernatural and any other like fantasy or, you know, sci-fi or type of fandom in terms of the writing. Yeah, not a lot. I mean, supernatural, which when I was checking it had about 315,000 fics. There were only 171 that had a combination of all of those tags together. So very, I mean, like it wouldn't even be worth trying to figure out a percentage at that point. It wasn't going to happen. So I just put together a couple of screenshots between the ones that had more fics, magic cock and healing sex. And I mean, not surprising, the ratings. I mean, you're going to have more explicit. I would think so, because if
I'm questioning who's writing teen and up audiences with the tags magic cock and healing sex. Although I suppose you could have fade to black.
It could be a closed door. Yeah, it could be like we're closing the door on this, and then like what the after effects are. I mean, that's possible. But yeah, majority of explicit. I guess if we're talking about the whole rape recovery that they were discussing on fan lore, there are a handful that do have that warning of rape or non-con. A lot of creators chose not to use archive warnings thing, but not as many as I guess I thought might be in there.
That's actually because we didn't really touch on that, did we? That's I suppose I have read quite a few fics like that which deal with the aftermath of rape and sexual assault and how to like.
Gosh, I really want to throw you under the bus right now about something.
Can I get my thought out and then you can throw me under the bus?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to throw me under the bus about junkies?
Yes.
Excuse me, I have never claimed junkies to be magical healing cockfic because it isn't.
No, but go ahead. You tell me your thought, and then I want to bounce.
And then you're going to be like, "Here's how it is a magical healing cockfic." Actually, no, like that kind of one that's actually coming to mind really strongly at the moment is The Bright Lights of Disturbia, which has been a bit of a fandom classic, with a very, very unreliable narrator, Sam, attempting a physical relationship with Dean, who has been raped, essentially, and dealing with the not only the mental but the sort of the physiological aspects of that, erectile dysfunction and things like that. But it wasn't tagged, like magical healing cock,
right?
But I think that kind of like rape recovery fix.
No, I mean, I think so.
I think there's probably a fair amount of post-rape, post-sexual assault fix that you could classify as magical healing cock. You know,
because a lot of them,
where the characters think, "Oh no, if you just have sex with someone you trust, it'll all be fine."
Well, yeah,
which is not how that works.
No, but I think that at a very base level breaks down the thought process of a relationship of trust helps.
Yes.
To get you to a place where you would want to have that intimacy with someone else, or you'd feel safe enough to, try something. So I think, yeah, it does have that. It does lean that way, I think. And I mean, that's really a big, being hurt by someone else and then having that trust in someone else to get you to another place where you're comfortable, I think is a big thing. So yeah, I think that's more of like maybe the emotional side of the healing that then leans into the physical part of it. You know, I think that it kind of gets all wrapped together for some people, maybe in some of the writings that people are attempting that end up kind of going this way. I mean, but yeah, it's a lot of like, because we talked about this a lot, and I know you've like other tags we've done. It can feel sometimes like too easy, right? And I think that makes it. Some people think of it, I guess, that bad fic thing that, you know, where it's like, well, you're not really getting truly the reality of the situation. It's that, oh, here we go, wave a magic wand, maybe wave a magic dick, and there you go. And I think that's
look at us, all selfish now.
I think that's kind of like what a lot of people, I mean, I remember like Laura and Bailey talking about like that, you know, they just need the right dick and everything's fine. And that's not in the hands of a not as great writer. Maybe it might seem that way, but I think I've read a lot of fic that uses that, but not in a shortcut way. I guess it's a part of the overall journey that the writer's taking you on.
There is, and do you want to throw me under the bus for junkies now?
Well, because I was thinking about it, and when you were talking, I was like, well, because I know you haven't gotten there yet, right? And I know like they're still dealing with the aftermath of everything that Demon Dean has done with Demon Blood Addicted Sam.
Yes.
My interpretation of the way the story is going to go is they have to rebuild that relationship, and not that them having sex is going to fix everything, because it won't. But I feel like it's a part of the journey, and that eventually them coming together in a different way, built on feeling safe, trust, being vulnerable with each other on both ends, and just giving of themselves completely with no other need, no other motive, is what could probably lean into this tag just a teeny tiny bit. You know what I mean? It's like it's a part of the journey.
It could, yes. It is not written with that in mind.
Right.
And I would certainly, if I wrote the next installment of that fic and was like, oh, and they fucked about it and it was off, like,
right. No, I would
feel like I was copping out.
Yeah.
Really badly.
Yeah.
But I do like, and this is kind of in keeping with junkies, I think there's a lot of value in fiction as therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've talked about this. Sandra is like, I use fiction and creative writing to block out the world, and I'm like, I open wounds and poke them. So I think like somebody who, you know, has experienced sexual assault or has experienced rape, then choosing to write a magical healing cock fic where they take the control and they can go, no, this is fixed.
Yeah.
And working through things like that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably very empowering. Junkies in of itself is my own poking and prodding of a bruise to do with coercive rape and sex under duress, and where that leaves you as a victim of that, being confused and unsure because you consented, but how valid is your consent, and yada yada yada. So junkies is never ever going to be well, they fucked and it was fixed, you know. Right. It's never going to be that. But I do think there's probably a lot of power and a lot of empowerment in somebody using that to process their own trauma. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No. Like I said, I think the trope has a lot of scope, both in like a crack fic humor. There's, you know, played right, there's a lot of humor to be obtained from that. You know, like, oh, I'm sorry you broke your arm, Sammy. Do you want to fuck about it? Was it going to fix my broken arm? No, but you'll have nutted and you'll feel better. You know, that's funny. Like that kind of words. That's funny. Yeah, you know. But also in a more serious exploration, there's a lot of validity in it there as well. Yeah. I suppose I would tilt more to the trauma exploration of it than the humor, because it's not funny to me, unfortunately. You know, yeah, that's kind of, I guess that's kind of where I fall down on that. I did want to draw attention to one of the stats though,
Yeah.
Because the most popular relationship in both magic cock and healing sex is Destiel.
Mhm.
If there's anybody in the supernatural universe that might have an actual legitimate I can heal your broken arm with my dick, it's Castiel, which I think is quite funny. Like he possesses the, potentially the only actual, is your dick gonna fix my broken arm? Maybe. I think 2 fingers to the forehead might be more expedient, but this is more fun. I just think that's funny.
I mean, it's Destiel and then Wincest Fall, and that one's second. And then it was weird. Like I couldn't actually take out the crossovers because then there would have been even like a smaller amount. So I think there's some, I think that's a Teen Wolf. That's a Teen Wolf thing.
Teen Wolf.
That's in there too. So I guess there's some overlap and crossover in there that way.
Bobby Singer, Dean Winchester, which makes me wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, this is where I'm going to come up with one too that I've just finished reading that I think I feel like should have that tag in it, but I'll save it for that. But yeah, the additional tags is kind of like, yeah, all of the things. Do you think there's hurt comfort? There's emotional hurt comfort, crack,
humor, crack.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things in there.
In Magic Cock, the other additional tags is magical healing cock and magic cock, but in healing sex, you get like healing sex and magical healing cock. There's overlap there.
Yeah.
I think it's quite funny.
Yeah. So I found 3. So basically I went on AO3 and I kind of like looked at the tags, either looked at healing sex or magic cock, and I came up with some that had gotten like the most hits, the most kudos, things like that. So I took them from.
Did you read? It's a Sam Claire fic. Claire touches a cursed something.
We read that. We talked about that. BJ had given us that recommendation when we did the sex curse stuff. Again,
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, see, to me, I feel like that could go there. You know what I mean? Like you could maybe tag it this too, and it'd be fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a really good fic, though.
Yeah, it's a very good fic. Yeah, and again, like if you read our listen to our sex curse, sex pollen one, it's in there, so you can get the link to it. This story has a happy ending. Is the first one that I found. It's a Destiel. It's by Xylo Demon. The summary is the one where Cass tries to fuck the mark of Cain away. So basically,
again, of all the people in the universe,
yeah,
he might be able to do that.
Yeah, but it's interesting because it has them like. Castiel is very much like straightforward about the fact that, he sees that Dean is not doing well with the mark of Cain, like, how it's making him irritable. He's getting angry, all of these different things. And he just very like, logically, and just very out there as Cass is like, well, he's like, you should probably fuck about it. And he's like, or he might say something like, maybe you need a release. And Dean's
that
like,
sounds far more Castiel.
Dean's very uncomfortable about this because, of course you realize that he has feelings for Cass that, he has not stated or told him about. And he said, well, maybe you should masturbate or something along those lines. And Dean's like, well, when I do, and he's like, oh, the mark gets angry. And he's like, yes. So it's like, it's not quite, it's just driving the feelings of whatever the mark of Cain is like building up in Dean. It just makes it worse. So then Cass is like, well, maybe you should go and like, maybe you should just have sex. And Dean's like, well, he's like, I don't know if I just want to, I guess just have to go find somebody or whatever. But then Cass is like, well, I'm here. Like, why don't we just have sex? And they don't do the full deed, but it's in the bunker. And like, I think Cass like jacks him off or something like that. And then they show the slow progression of every time the mark of Cain starts to like, it quiets a little bit more each time. And of course the sexual activity gets a little more interesting each time they're doing stuff. And Dean starts to make the connection too, that Cass isn't just doing this to, make him feel better or to help him. It's also there, he's got feelings for him too. And it's a short fic, but it's very unrequited love, but like on both ends, but it's all from Dean's POV. So eventually, that Cass feels the same way. And it becomes more about them staying together. And Sam's even like, he's noticing it, and and Dean's like, shut up, and like all that kind of stuff. But like they are together, like, so in the end, it's like the mark has quieted down. And you don't know if it's a combination of different things, but you feel like too, it's because Dean has found that person, for him that makes him feel safe and in a good place, kind of a thing. So they are together in the end. So again, it's that device, I think, that gets them to the place where then this is their life now, kind of a thing. It was cute. And I did like, I very much like the, I don't know what it is, but about some writers where they can do a little bit, like with just a few sentences of sexual activity, they put this like image in your head that's very hot, and it's just like, it's like a build up here and there, and it's this and that and all those kinds of things. I liked the way it was written. The pacing of it, I thought, was very, very good. I did like that one. When I read that one, I thought that one was a good one. The other one was, if it's you, it's Wincest. Sam needs to have sex with someone right now, or the sigils on him will kill him. Dean tries to find somebody for him on short notice, but it turns out Sam wants him to do it. This is by Threshy. This to me felt like you could just, it might have had sex curse or sex pollen in it too, like, or fuck or die, or kind of a situation, but not fuck or die, but like that kind of a thing, like a curse on it. And this is another one where it's unrequited, where Sam is very much, Dean goes, I think, to a bar to try to find somebody to help Sammy out. And Sam's really kind of like, well, I've never had sex with a guy before. I'd really rather it be you. And
so endearing.
Dean kind of like, and as the Dean big brother, he's like, I'll take care of you, Sammy. And again, there's all of these, you realize it's not just Sam, again, with unrequited feelings as things go on. It's Dean as well. And there's a really good like last line in this, which I thought was just really great. The very last line was, well, like Sam says something like, you saved me. He manages sounding blissed out even to himself. He is. Dean just wrote him good. Who knows how long either of them would have avoided the idea unless a stupid spell situation came up. Dean kisses Sam's ear and rests his head on his shoulder, sighing happily. Said I'd do anything for you, even you. So I thought that was
That's adorable.
That was a good Dean line at the end of that.
That's so cute. I love it. Please, that idiot, Your Honor.
That one felt a lot like, again, a lot of the other things I've read, like Sex Curse. It felt like that to me. Then the last one I found was Reset. It's a Dean reader, and it's by Sorry, It's My First Day on Earth, which we're actually going to have Sorry on in like a couple weeks to chat.
Yeah.
And the summary is, it's free use day at the bunker. Dean's as excited as if it's Christmas morning because he knows he gets to make you feel good, which he's way better at than Sam. And that's just
I think
Dean.
I've read that one.
Yeah. So that one, which I've seen this tag before, but I like, free use is a tag. I've seen this pop up more. Maybe this might be something at some point we look up.
Do I need to be the agent of kink and explain it to you?
Sure. Are we going to do an episode about that?
Well, I can explain it to you now. I was like, do you not understand what the tag means? Is my question.
Well, my assumption is it just means you can do whatever the fuck you want. Is that what that means? Okay.
Yeah.
All
it's
right.
like a
it's like a hall pass kind of a situation. Like, here you go. Feel free. There's like, it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas kind of a vibe.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I
feel so summer child sometimes when I do explain these things, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Anna, please, any BDSM kink aficionados who know more than I, please correct if I am wrong. My interpretation of that is it's like a version of consensual non-consent.
Okay.
Where free use means like your partner, for example.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, it's free use day. So Reader is open. The boys can do whatever they want to her for the day. And she won't say no. Like I imagine she will still have a safe word like consensual non-consent. But I feel like it's less like, to my mind, consensual non-consent is pushing boundaries that the sub, like the dom is pushing the sub's boundaries. The dom is pushing past the sub's no because the sub gets something out of being made to push past those boundaries,
Okay.
or the humiliation of being unable to pass those boundaries, whatever it is, the dom and the sub are getting something out of ignoring the sub's no.
Okay.
Even though it's still like, you can always still safe word out, it's consensual non-consent. Free use is a little bit more like, we're all gonna have a good time. Nobody's pushing any boundaries, but like, if you want to come over and lift my skirt up and bend me over the table and go to town, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
And like sex without all that unnecessary talking and shit beforehand. You just everybody gets their genitals out and we all have a good time.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean,
the same thing.
That's what it, I mean, that was apparently immediately what the feeling was reading this story, is that they're given like this day, like, and Dean realizes it's free use day when he walks in on Sam pounding Reader over a I guess the bunker, one of the bunker desks or something like that. And it's just like, oh, it's free use day. It's just like, but what's interesting about it too, this is when I feel like a lot of people take Sam to be like, the tiger in bed, and then Dean like the one that kind of like, he's a little more playful. But like,
we're not going to get into it, but Sam Winchester fucks, okay?
That's what I mean. So
be out here besmirching the good name of my man.
I wasn't besmirching anything. I was not saying anything besmirched about that. It's almost like it started maybe out as like a fun competition, between the boys, like how many times they could make the Reader come and stuff like that, like in a day or whatever. But then, I think the POV switches between Reader and Dean a little bit in the story, but like Dean ends up like, doing a little bit more to, when it's his turn, like he gets a little more, I don't know if playful is the right term, but it's like more intense focus on Reader. The way the boys fuck is different, and this explains it pretty perfectly. I think it's a really good example of that. And
I would like to specify, I want it on record.
This is tagged healing sex, though. This isn't tagged magic healing cock. This is tagged healing sex.
Oh, it's tagged gentle dom Dean Winchester as well. I love that. I would like it stated. I would like it stated that while Sam Winchester fucks, okay, Sam Winchester is
still caring. Yes.
Thoughtful lover.
Yes. Caring. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And this in just a little over 1,000 words, you get all of that feeling from this fic about both of them.
I just didn't want anyone to go away being like, oh my God, they think Sam Winchester's bad in bed. No, I do not.
No.
He is a generous and thoughtful lover, but also he do fuck.
Yeah, because it's tagged healing sex, I think it's more of this, like, they get a day. It's called reset for a reason. They get a day to kind of like get away from everything that's their usual, reset, relax, quote unquote, in this way, for themselves. Yeah. And then they go back to whatever the emotional, shitty hunting life, which isn't for them, I guess, isn't shitty, but like, all the stuff they have to deal with and contend with. They just get to unplug and have fun
this
with
day
each other and do the things that's okay, and whatever they're good with, and there's no judgment. But it's funny because like I feel like it's still just so very much focused on they're getting enjoyment, but they're also making sure the Reader is okay. Like, like that partnership of this, like they're going to check in, make sure they're, she's good with it and stuff like that. So I thought these were all really good examples and a little different for each reason. And again, they've got a lot of hits and kudos. So I wanted to draw attention to those. But yes, my overall thought was a lot of sex curse or sex pollen could be tagged with this. And the fic that I just finished reading it last night, that it's tagged fuck or die, but I feel like could be tagged this. And this fic has been recommended for pretty much like so many different things that we've been doing tags and tropes on. It's The Constant Vow by Deadly Bride.
The Constant Vow.
I finished it last night. I was very, very impressed with it. It was such an amazing ride of Sam. There's a lot of writing in this, but Sam's POV, his relationship with Dean, I was really struck by it. And I'm going to say we're crossing fingers. We're supposed to have Deadly Bride on to chat with in a few months. And I have questions about this fic in particular because it's such
I have questions.
highly recommended fic, and the parallel storylines, the parallel cases, they're just there's things that, you know how you read certain fics and you just like you're gonna remember certain things about this fic, and I think I've been really just.
It's fandom required reading. At this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't read it. I will probably read it before Deadly Bride comes on.
But I do think that, yes, magical healing cock. I mean, it's basically Sam's cock is the magical healing device, you know, in this for the storyline, and also fuck or die. But I was just impressed by that. So I'm looking forward to. I think overall I do, because I do like Sex Curse and Sex Pollen. This is so close to it that the ones I've read I've enjoyed, and I think I would probably search this tag out more. I know you probably know for reasons we've, you know, kind of talked about, but if it ends up being a part of the story, you're probably not going to necessarily nope out. But if it's like that's like the major driving force of the story, probably not for you, is my thought.
It's not. I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't be like Amnesia is like a fucking nope. Like, absolutely nope for me. This is not like a complete hard pass. But I wouldn't actively seek it out. And I would, like I said, if it comes up in a fic, it's got to be a pretty good fucking fic to keep me going. But like, when I say that, I'm talking about it from the perspective of, oh, hey, let's fuck about it. You know, like, it's not a fiction broken up, but you feel better. I absolutely see the merit, and I will stay with a fic that is exploring the aftermath of, you know, any kind of assault, sexual assault, rape recovery, anything like that, via the medium of recreating those acts with somebody trusted.
Yeah.
I will stay with it for that. So if it's being used as just like humor or plot device, like, again, I don't think it's lazy writing by any stretch of imagination, but I'm just not as here for it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not the same level of absolutely fuck no that Amnesia was, but it's not a gib for me. I'm ambivalent about it.
Of course, we asked Discord for some recs. I don't know. I think everybody was asleep this month, but we did get one by Crowley's Mistress, which is actually a fic by Crowley's Mistress. And I'm going to read the summary or just the summary of it. I have not read it yet, but it's going to be on my list of things to read because it sounds like it kind of fits what you were just talking about. So it's a Rowena Gabriel Sam fic. Rowena wants to help Sam with past sexual trauma with a special spell that involves substituting Lucifer's grace with Gabriel's, her channeling the power of the moon and drawing some protective sigils with Sam's seed. Easy, right? Of course, if bad memories didn't have a chokehold on Sam, if celestial bodies weren't moody, if Lucifer wasn't obsessive, and if in the middle of the spell the trickster didn't feel compelled to do whatever necessary to complete the spell. So that's dealing with, I think, some maybe heavier, which I would expect from Crowley's Mistress. It's got a fic warning of non-con. I'm interested in reading it, and it is called Under the Scorpio Full Moon. So that's the one rec we've got from our Discord for you guys today. It will be in the description as well. Yeah, I mean, I think overall, again, I like doing these because, as you've heard, Kasey and I do come at things a little bit differently sometimes. And I think that this is another one of those tags that has proven correct for us. But yeah, do you have any other like final thoughts before we wrap up?
I'm ambivalent about the tag. It's not a complete hard pass. It's not a gib. I think there's a lot of interesting things that can be done with it. Let's leave it there.
So we are going to wrap up. We're going to thank you for listening, and we want to know what you thought of the episode. Let us know your thoughts on the tag. Do you really love it? Kind of hard pass? Just never really thought about it much before? Be like, oh, hey, you know what? I've read a thing that should have been tagged that.
Let us know.
You can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify. You can leave a YouTube comment. You can join our Discord and chat with fellow idlers and us in real time. Check out our merch store, which is another fun way to show your support. You can find details for everything on our website. That's idlingintheimpala.com. Want to fuel our supernatural road trip? Consider supporting us on Ko-fi. We have perks to go along with different membership tiers, and would love to have you along for the ride.
Speaking of perks, we've got special shout-outs for some of our Ko-fi members. From our Shotgun Picks the Music tier, we've got Runaway Dreamer, Crowley's Mistress, Samandine76, Elia, Charlie, and Just Whispering Fantasies. Thank you for picking the tunes in the car. Support like yours keeps our podcast going. Thank you! Don't forget, you can always support us for free by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, and following, rating, sharing on audio platforms. Engagement like that really helps us with the algorithms. All hail their benevolence. As always, we have the causes we support in the description. So for me, you have LGBTQ plus talking charities. From Sandra, you have mental health charities. And of course, the main causes that we are always highlighting, championing, spotlighting are World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. If you want to know more about these causes, why we're supporting them, what they mean to us, check out idlingintheimpala.com. There's a page there called Causes Cause with all the details. So with that, we will say thanks for joining us in the back seat, guys, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.